Hello everyone.
We're back.
We're back. Welcome to our second. Today we're doing our second kids craft that you can make under 30 minutes.
Yes. So, this one is way under 30 minutes and I just think they're so cute. This is actually, yes, counting the cutting. This is actually something that you have been asking me to remake for a long time as this wood bead peg doll inspired winter fairy. And I put my own little twist on it. Making it a fairy.
Yes, exactly. And this reminds me so much of you. This looks like you when you were a kid. Just have to say it.
So this is a really...
You had no hair.
Yeah, it's true. I was bald until I was...
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so all you'll need for this project... Oh, should we mention Anna's over here?
Oh, yes. So Anna is over here taking questions. If you have any questions during this live broadcast, go ahead and put them in the comments there and she'll call them out. And if you have a question in the replay, just put them in the comments and we will answer you.
Yes, perfect. And hopefully you don't have too many questions because this one's nice and straightforward. For our tools and materials today, we have these 1-inch wood beads, and you can see these have a hole on either side, which we will be disguising. And we need one of these each for each little angel. And then for the arms and legs, we need 3. So it's going to be 2 for the legs and 1 for the arms. And
you use this inside the ball, right?
I will show you.
So you need a ball with a hole.
You do?
Yes.
Well, you could, yes. You could glue it a lot, but I think that would be risky. Okay. So the hole is going to be a secure point for our, can you pull out one more of those?
Yep, one more.
Okay, so I've already cut out my felt, but we use just this our white wool blend felt, and I've cut 2 of each for both of us to make one. I also have just this scrap of green felt, whatever scrap felt or fabric you have around to make the little berry, which was kind of an addition there at the end. I also have these little felt balls. And if you don't have felt balls, you could also use something like the spun paper balls and just color them with a little red marker to make.
Yeah, I saw someone in our community who had made them, and she had something. She was having them hold something else.
Yeah,
so really,
you can hold anything.
They can hold anything.
Anything cute.
That's what's so cute. Yes.
I've got some embroidery floss for the top for our little loop. Just a set of needles for making that loop at the top. But apart from that, this is a no-sew. Yes, and then if you don't have a cutting machine and you want that scalloped edge, the scalloped scissors that we have in our shop would do a really great job of getting this same roughly shape. And then I've just got some regular scissors on deck ready to go. Okay, oh, and hot glue. This is what we're using to assemble this today, hot glue. If you wanted to do this with stitching instead of gluing, you could. But we're definitely going to need to at very least glue in our wires.
So I was asking, could you use Aleene's tacky glue? You could for the felt. So if kids are making this with you, you could do Aleene's tacky glue for the felt and then have a grown-up do the hot glue.
I said I don't know if it would work because you're going to need to hold it for so long for it to dry. So if you do not want to use hot glue and you're using regular craft glue, you will probably want to clip or pin it while it dries. The hot glue is just so fast that it makes it really easy.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, okay. So we're just going to start by making our little angel shape. And for that, we're going to use 1 ball each. And we've got our 2 for the legs. We're starting with our legs.
Okay.
So to make the legs, I'm going to fold this right in half. Oop, here we go. Folding it in half, and we're having our ends end up right there at the top. And there's leg 1. And actually, if you have a pair of needle nose pliers, if you don't mind handing those to me, you can make sure this is nice and tight.
The little foot.
Little foot. You can kind of keep a loop if you want because it looks cute to have a little bulk down there. So there are our legs. And from here, we're just going to group these together and glue them into the base, into the ball hole. And one side is a little more open than the other, so I'm going to go with that side. Be generous with your glue here.
And you're not sliding them in very far.
Yeah, we're just kind of going right, just a little bit.
Okay.
Looks like a bunny.
Very long ears.
Yes. And you can see what you did over there. You made these little foot boop. So I'm just bending a little tiny angle boop to get those feet. You can do more or less depending on what you like. She's looking a little silly right now. Let's add some arms. So for the arms, let's take our full strand. I'm going to stick this between the legs. And if you want to add a little hot glue here, you can, just to secure it so that it doesn't go anywhere. You could also twist your wires if you wanted to just do a little twisty around your arm piece. That it also works just fine. So then we have some very long arms. We're going to take this and fold it in half, maybe a little bit more in the middle. Fold it in half so that it comes right under that chin. Try to make sure they're pretty even on both sides. And you can use the measuring board here if you want to be extra careful. And you can just take these little tails from the other pieces and kind of just put them between these legs too. And this is where if you want to add some hot glue to hold them in, you can. Look how cute yours are. You did yours perfectly.
Well, mine are just to here too. So there's no right or wrong.
No.
Some little fairies will have longer arms than others.
And some will have shorter.
And some will have shorter.
So I'm just going to add a little glue to hold mine in place because I've got some shorter arms. And I am placing this arm section, it's almost touching the chin, the bottom of the ball. I do have a little bit of space, but it can be
That's a good
pretty
point.
close up to the top, and it should be fine.
Just a little bit of neck room.
Just a
I
little
guess.
bit of neck room.
Okay.
So here's our little doll base. Isn't she cute?
She is.
I'm gonna sit from here, just bend these arms down just a little so that they're kind of out of the way. And then set that aside while we make the wings. So we're just gonna do this ahead of time. This is really easy peasy. We're gonna just take our two wing sections, and I just added a dot of glue here in the middle. And this is where if you're using Eileen's, this is a perfect time to do it because this is flat. The other times it's kind of wrapping around her body and it makes it a little tricky. So I do have this loose, but you can glue down the whole thing if you want. And then we have our dress piece. Our dress has this little neck hole. And so what I'm gonna do is take it so that she's facing down, place it right under her arms. So we're going under the arms. And then if you want to add a little dot of glue on the front so that it doesn't wiggle around, I'm not using very much, just a tiny little bit to hold it from wiggling around. And then we'll pull it under her arms. And this is where the hot glue is really nice. And if you wanted to do a blanket stitch or a running stitch, something like that, you absolutely could to close this dress up. But it's pretty easy just to take this hot glue right there on the edge.
Yep, and tack it together.
And
You could use a low temperature too.
Yes, you absolutely could use a low temperature.
Yeah, that was so easy.
So easy. And if it doesn't look perfect, that's totally fine because we have more layers to add on to her little outfit. So you can see I have a little gap, but that's okay. Next, are you ready for the next one?
So one of the things that I did when I wrapped her dress around, rather than gluing it in the front, I glued the two tabs to her back.
Yeah, that's great. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to take our collar piece here, which is the little half circle ruffle, and this is going to go over her arms. And you can do the same thing where you either glue it a little bit in the front or you glue it in the back, and this is going to go right up to right underneath that ball. So this is all the way up on her neck. Then we've got the back side here. And this is where, you're so fast. We're just gonna
I've been doing this for a while.
We're just gonna add a little glue and pin her down.
You remember how many dresses I made with hot glue?
Oh, many. And then here we are on the back. So we've got, this is the back, we've got the seams, and then we're gonna take our wings. And this is where if we wanna add a little glue to in between the ruffle sections so that this kind of stays together, we can. And then we're going to take our wings. So the smaller wing is facing forward. And I like to put it pretty right where this V section, she's just touching the side of the balls.
There we go.
Look
So
how cute she already is.
Yeah, it covers up. just
Covers
the
up
seam.
everything.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then we have our hat, our final piece. So here's our hat. And what we're going to do is just create a cone. And if you want to create the cone ahead of time, that kind of helps. Or you can place just a tiny bit of glue, the same thing that we've done. Teeny tiny bit of glue. Place it on her head. Now I will say that for this shape, I don't want it to be straight up and down. I did kind of like it coming back at an angle. So it's not straight up. It's like a little fairy hat, a little gnome hat, something like that. Told you this would be fast. Just pinned it in place, and then we're gonna do the seam. Now, if you want to be really clever, you would add your embroidery floss loop in before you completely close up the hat, but it is pretty easy to get it in either way. Oop. And then from this point, you can use your needle nose pliers or just your fingers, and you can give her some little arms to hold things.
And you know, we debated whether or not to put a face on her and decided just to leave her kind of
Neutral.
Waldorf style.
I thought she looked so cute like this.
Yeah, or Scandinavian style.
Do you want to make me a little berry?
Sure will.
So if you can get a shot over here while she cuts that out.
So when we were photographing these, I'm the one that added these berries on there because I'm like, they just need some color. So I literally just cut some little scraps of felt. You can kind of do maybe a square and then hold it at an angle. And then just go in there and cut some of these little indents.
Little holly leaves.
Yeah, so I'm cutting 3 on each side from one point to the other. And I don't want them to be perfect. You know, if you want to cut these on a cutting machine, you can certainly find a template for this. But I kind of
It's a little small.
Well, and I also like the less than perfect shape.
Yeah, and sometimes
think it's
cutting
cute.
tiny little pieces is tricky on a cutting machine. So sometimes easier just to do it by hand. Okay, while you do that, I'm going to add our loop. I've got far too much thread here, but it's fine. And so
for mine too.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to start off by creating a knot on the tail end. This is what's going to hide in our hat.
And again, you could do this before gluing your hat together if you want to.
Yes, and you could also just secure it with glue, which is kind of what I end up doing. So I'm just sliding this needle up through that back seam and right out the top of the hat, pulling it. Gonna just pull it so that it pops inside, and then we'll just go right back in that same hole.
And with the hot glue, it seems to be strong enough to hold.
Yeah.
When
And
you're
I'm just gonna come out a little bit down. So this is just gonna create a little loopy. There we go. Okay. So, and we've got a loop. You can decide how big you want it. And then I'm just going to add a little dot of glue right here on the top to make sure that this doesn't go anywhere.
throw me a ball.
Ta-da!
Very cute.
You would like a holly ball.
I would.
A holly ball. I think it would be really cute to have her holding like you could do anything kind of family related, like a little key or a little gift box. If you have anything teeny you have around your house, you could just put it right in her arms.
Yeah, so I'm not even going to glue it in her arms. I glued 2 berries together and put one little holly leaf on it. And there you go. Just a little variety.
She could just be holding leaves.
Somebody suggested to make a little songbook for her
Oh, that
to
would be
hold.
cute. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Singing fairies. Yeah, you could do it out of felt or paper.
You can make her, yes, she could be holding anything. And there we have our cute little Christmas fairy, winter fairy. We have so many now.
And we have 5. Perfect.
I imagine they fly around the house and pick up little tiny things and collect them and add them to the tree. Great.
All right. I just popped off camera for a second because I'm going to grab these. So tomorrow, to keep going with our crafty wonderland, Anna's going to join me over here behind or in front of the camera. And we're going to start with these cute little felt wreaths.
So cute. I love these.
And then we're going to mini wreaths, and then we're going to do some crepe paper mini wreaths. And I think this
Adorable.
one's just pine, and then this one is the mistletoe. I thought it was fun to put mistletoe in a wreath.
This is so cute. I love both of these. I told her once we're done, I'm gonna steal one and put one on my door.
So there we go. So come back tomorrow, same time, and make these along with us.
Yay. Thanks so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you make any of these crafts, we would love to see them. So you can either post those on Instagram and hashtag them with Made with Leah, or join our community page and you can share them over there.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.